Alright, so in this lesson we're going to take a closer look at alternate picking. Now we've already learned alternate strumming. Alternate strumming is strumming chords with a series of down and up strokes. Alternate picking is the same concept, but it's happening on single strings. So typically what happens when you're playing the lead part, for example, or the melody, you're alternate picking across those strings. So it doesn't matter if you're on one string or you're playing across many strings, you're alternate picking. So it's down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And that's the pattern that happens over and over again until the part is finished. So in this video, I have the camera fixed on just what the right hand is doing, so it's not really important what my left hand is doing. I want you to just watch what my right hand does regarding alternate picking. So for example, let's take a song, a simple melody like Mary Had a Little Lamb, and I'll play it on just the top two strings here. So we'll play it across two strings, but I want you to watch what happens if I alternate pick this. So you can see it's down, up, down, up. So you may be inclined to play it with just downstrokes, which you could certainly do, but the problem is you really won't get the speed. And it's much easier to be accurate and fast when you're alternate picking. In the beginning it's not going to be that way at all. It's going to seem weird, and it's going to actually slow you down. But it's a necessary step. So if you really want to learn how to play a lead part, or to play any kind of lead or melodies when you're playing the guitar, you're going to have to really start incorporating alternate picking. So it's down, up, down, up. And usually what you do is you start on the downstroke, and then it's just up, down, up, down, up. And that's pretty much the pattern that you'll follow. So I'll call these out so you can see exactly what I'm doing with this Mary Had a Little Lamb example. So I'm going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And that's pretty much what you do. It's just down, up, down, up. And it doesn't matter if you're on one string or if you're playing across multiple strings. It doesn't matter. You're always kind of incorporating that down, up. And what you end up getting is a very fluid motion, and it actually, even though it's going to be awkward in the beginning, and it's going to require more work to try and figure it out, over time it's going to save you so much. You'll be able to play so much faster and much more accurately using alternate picking. So make sure in this chapter, make sure that you go through the different scales, the blues scale and the major scale, as well as the licks that I provide. Make sure that you incorporate alternate picking with those. One thing to point out, if you're playing alternate picking if you're playing across two strings, two or more. So for example, there's one of the blues licks in this chapter where there's kind of a Chuck Berry lick that's kind of, you're playing a double string thing where I'm kind of barring two strings. And in a case like that, that's one of the rare examples where you actually wouldn't alternate pick. So you're gonna that would be played with downstrokes. And the reason is that it's hard to get a consistent sound across multiple strings like that, because when you're picking down, you're hitting the strings in this order, and when you're picking back up, you're hitting them in this order. So it's hard to get a consistent sound versus a single string. It makes perfect sense. I explained that also in that lesson, but I just wanted to point that out. That is an example of a case where you wouldn't want to alternate pick. But other than that, you should always try it. So make sure that you are alternate picking when you're playing your leads or your melodies.